as we look at some of the important dates for the 2020-2021 NFL season, you may be surprised how close they are. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Billievers Talk. My name is Joe, and welcome to this NFL Dates edition of Billievers Talk, where I'm going to give you the important NFL dates to remember for the 2020-2021 NFL season. A lot of people disappointed that the Bills season is over. Remember, in the NFL, there is no off season, so I'm going to give you those dates. Before I do that, remember, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, guys, hit that subscribe button, as I'm going to continually keep you up to date on Buffalo Bills and Buffalo sports news. So even though a lot of people think this is the offseason, still a lot of news happening, still a lot of Buffalo Bills news happening, and you know that you can get those updates right here. So hit that subscribe button. After you hit that subscribe button, if you don't remember these dates, hit that notification bell. You hit that notification bell, YouTube will let you know when we post new content. So hit that notification bell after you hit the subscribe button. And while you're watching this video, hit that thumbs up button and leave a comment. Tell me what dates are important to you as we look forward to the 2020-2021 NFL season. And guys, I got to tell you something. Some of those dates have come and gone already, and I'm going to talk about one of those. And some of those dates are here as in today. Probably when I'm posting this video, there's going to be one of these dates that I'm going to mention. Something important is happening today that you want to make sure you're keeping an eye out for the 2020 NFL draft. So the first date, like I said, has already come and passed. That was yesterday. January 17th was the last day college players, underclassmen, could declare for the NFL draft. So if you were a college junior, or if you were a college senior even, that wanted to declare for the NFL draft, this was your last day. Yesterday was your last day to do that. So now we know what the player field looks like when it comes to the NFL draft. That's very important for the Buffalo Bills ownership, for Buffalo Bills GMs. Now they know what players to be looking out for. Some of these big high-name players stayed in college for another year, thinking that their draft stock will rise next season. Some of the wide receivers in this great wide receiving class, right? Some of the junior wide receivers decided to stay back for another year because they want to potentially help their draft stock not only by play on the field, but also by boosting the draft stock just because of the lack of talent at that position. So some players stayed, but a lot of them came out, and that was yesterday. That deadline to come out was yesterday and declare for the NFL draft. Then today, like I said, as I'm probably posting this video, this game will be going on. You have the East-West Shrine game where some college football's best players come out and they show what they have in front of a bunch of NFL scouts, a bunch of NFL front office. Brandon Beane was at this game last year watching these guys play. Boshawn Joseph was in this game last season. So it goes to show you some of the names that are in this game and some of the players you're looking at. Now, sure, you might not see your first day, second day type players in this game, but you'll see who you're picking up day 3, who shines, who shows up on the East-West Shrine game, because not only do you see some of these players, and maybe even some Division III players that we'll talk about later on during the draft process, come and show up in this game, because this is when you're playing some of that elite talent that you want to see, right? Instead of playing against the MAC West Conference or whatever it might be, you're playing against some of the better talent in college football. Some of these guys that will also be at the NFL Combine and also be on the NFL draft board. So you want to do your best in these games, and you want to show off to scouts and to front offices what you can do on the field. And then next week's the big one, right? Mobile, Alabama. That's where it really all begins. That's the Senior Bowl, January 25th. You're talking about the weekend in between the AFC and NFC championship games and the Super Bowl. You have the Senior Bowl on Saturday, January 25th. So you want to make sure to watch that one. Remember, Devin Singletary was in this game last year. Some of your big-name quarterbacks in this game. Some of your big-name players are in this game. We're drafting 22nd overall. I'm guessing that who we draft 22nd overall will probably be playing in this game. That's all I'm saying. But during the week, guys, I'll let you know who I'm watching out for. And again, maybe it's not about that day 1 pick or even that day 2 pick. It's about who you're going to pick up day 3, right? Who are those sleepers that you could potentially see that the Buffalo Bills can pick up. Remember, the Buffalo Bills have three 5th-round draft picks, 2 6th-round draft picks this season in the NFL draft. So the Senior Bowl, the East-West Shrine Game, going to be very important to the Buffalo Bills as far as who to look at in those later rounds, who could be that diamond in the rough. Maybe another Matt Milano type player that the Buffalo Bills could be looking for to replace Lorenzo Alexander. Who knows? But they could show up in these games, and we could get a steal by watching these games and seeing this talent on the field. Again, I'm going to let you know this week who I'm looking out for at the NFL or at the Senior Bowl. You let me know in those videos who you're looking out for. It's going to be a fun game to watch, and again, we'll keep you updated right here on Believers Talk. Then February 3rd, the day after the Super Bowl 2020 waivers begins, right? Buffalo Bills have picked up players on waivers before prior to the start of the NFL league year. First name off the top of my head, Chris Ivory. Just last season, we picked him up before the league year began, after waivers began. So you can pick up some players during this time. It does not count against the compensatory picks. That's a whole nother discussion. But those are things that can happen after February 3rd. Then from February 24th to March 2nd, it's a fun time of the year for all NFL fans and NFL analysts, because they get to talk about the NFL Scouting Combine. February 24th, March 2nd, you have the NFL Scouting Combine. Again, a few days where some of the top college players, the guys coming out into the NFL draft, will be showing off what they have in front of all the scouts, all the front office people that you can bring into the building. You do have to be invited to this combine, right? So we won't see all the players there, but this is where Josh Allen showed off his rocket of an arm last season. I mean, you do have those pro days after the combine, another place for these players to shine, but this is really a place where you can really get your name on the map, really boost your stock or drop your stock. We've seen some players not do well, run slow 40 times or not do well in the bench press, and the draft stock falls. But we've also seen players who can run a 4.3 at wide receiver, and then all of a sudden their draft stock rises for very little reason other than they're fast, right? You saw it with a player that Oakland Raiders picked 2-3 years ago in the top 5. I mean, it's something that they really love, those fast wide receivers. So you can really boost your draft stock, or it can really drop depending how you do at the NFL Combine. Then from February 25th to March 10th, that is the time period that teams have to give a player a franchise tag. If a team is going to franchise tag a player, which I don't see the Buffalo Bills doing this year, let me know in the comment section if you disagree. I just don't see any of our unrestricted free agents worthy of that franchise tag. But again, let me know if you disagree. But you have that from February 25th to March 10th to make that decision if you are going to franchise tag a player. And then it's the big date, right? The big date that a lot of teams, a lot of players, a lot of fans are really looking forward to. That's going to be March 18th. March 18th is the official beginning of the 2020 league year. So what does that mean? That means free agency starts. Obviously, between now and March 18th, I'm going to let you know who I think are some of the big targets in free agency that the Buffalo Bills should go after. But March 18th is when the fun begins. And guys, just like last season, I will keep you updated on every single Buffalo Bills free agent pickup right here on Believers Talk. So like I said, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Will notify you when we put out new content, and that is big come free agency time. So pre 4 p.m. On March 18th, your 5th-year option for any players that you plan to sign for a 5th-year option going into their 3rd year, you have to decide that before 4 p.m. on March 18th to pick up that 5th-year option. After 4 p.m., that's when the official 2020 league year begins, and that's when free agency begins. Obviously, before 4 p.m., we're going to be hearing rumors, right? We're going to be hearing, hey, this guy agreed in principle to sign with this team, yada, 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 even though they're not supposed to be talking to each other. But we all know that there's nothing the NFL does to sanction that. And so we've seen it time and time again where players and teams have possibly crossed that line. But we do get news a little more up front. And again, any news about the Buffalo Bills, I'll bring it to you right here on Believers Talk. And then from March 29th to April 1st, those are the league meetings, right? And a lot of fans might not think a lot goes on here, but these are very important meetings. You're talking about rule changes. You're talking about possible CBA talk. You're talking about possible trade rumors starting at this time, especially for the draft, things like that. Some draft trades have happened. Some big draft trades have happened during these league meetings. So March 29th to April 1st, you want to keep an ear out for what's going on at these league meetings. April 20th, teams can start off-season workouts. If you have a rookie head coach, you can start a little bit before that. But for our Buffalo Bills, obviously we're going to be keeping Coach McDermott and GM Brandon Beane. So April 20th is the date we want to remember. That's when we can start off-season workouts with some of these NFL players, especially some of the guys that we pick up possibly in free agency. You want to bring them in, and you talk about some of these veterans, maybe even Josh Allen, get him accustomed to some of these free agents that we'll possibly be bringing in on the offensive side of the ball. It's a big time to start those workouts, getting ready for the 2020 NFL season. Then April 23rd to April 25th, that's really when the fun begins. That's when we start talking about the NFL draft. Obviously, we're going to do some draft breakdowns. I feel like there are channels out there that do a much better job than me at doing draft breakdowns of specific players. I'll look at some that the Bills may be interested in, some sleepers that I would like to take a look at. But one channel that I really like to talk about right now is the Louis T Network. Now, he's a Redskins fan, but the Louis T Network does a great job. Lou does a great job breaking down a lot of these players that are going out to the NFL draft. So if you want great breakdowns, I would recommend going over there, tell them Believers Talk sent you. But April 23rd to April 25th in Las Vegas, you have the NFL draft. There's going to be coverage all over YouTube. There's coverage all over TV for that time. So make sure you're checking it out. It's going to be a fun time. Obviously, after the picks are named, we'll go over some reviews of the players that the Buffalo Bills pick. All that kind of stuff will be going on, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Then you look at the end of April, beginning of May, that's when the NFL schedule is released. So that's a very important time because it's not necessarily the opponents that you play in 2020, it's the timing, right? We have a lot of trips out west this year, the Buffalo Bills do. So the schedule, how those games lay out, going to be very important to the Buffalo Bills, to our travel schedule. See if we do end up, as rumors suggest, having a game in London. There's a lot of things that could happen when the NFL schedule comes out. See how many games the Bills have in prime time. I expect to at least have one primetime game this year. Again, we talk about the ratings, right? How the ratings did Thanksgiving, Sunday night when we played the Steelers, and even the ESPN playoff game, how well they did in the ratings, TV ratings. I expect to see the NFL take advantage of that possibly and put us in 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4 primetime games this season. Let me know what you guys think about that. Then May 1st to the 4th is the 3-day rookie minicamp, right? So you bring in these rookies, both drafted and undrafted rookies. May 1st to May 4th, you have that 3-day rookie minicamp that everyone talks about. So be sure that you guys look out for that. Want to see how these rookies are going to do for the Buffalo Bills. May 19th to May 20th, the spring league meetings happen. Again, some things can happen at these meetings. Talking about possible trades that could happen at these meetings, things like that. Not too much news normally in these spring meetings. You're more getting ready for training camp at that time, and that's what happens mid-July. You're talking about the open of training camp for rookies, and then 8 days after that, you're talking about the open training camp for everybody. So mid-July is normally when training camp starts. That schedule really hasn't been put out yet, but when it does, you know, I will let you know right here on Believers Talk. But that's what we're looking at mid-July for those training camp dates. And then August 6th, we're right back with the Hall of Fame game. It all starts all over again. The Hall of Fame game, Canton, Ohio. August 6th to August 10th, they have the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. You have your Hall of Fame game. You have a lot of activities going on in Canton during that time. So Hall of Fame weekend starts August 6th to August 10th. Guys, 7 months away. 7 months away. I know it's 1.5 year away. Seems like a long time, but when you think about all that stuff that's come up before it, with the draft, free agency, with the Senior Bowl, all that kind of stuff, it's not going to take that long. And then we're right back into it. September 5th, that's when teams have to be cut down to that 53-man roster, right? We know about that 53-man roster. Prior to September 5th, we have a 90-man roster. As of March 18th, we can have up to a 90-man roster. Has to be cut down to 53 by September 5th. September 10th, the NFL season begins. That's that Thursday night game. I'm going to probably involve the Super Bowl champions, whoever they would be, but we won't know that, obviously, until 2 weeks from now. We also won't know the NFL schedule until either late April or early May. So again, you want to look out for that right here on Believers Talk. We'll keep you updated on all Buffalo Bills news, keep you updated on these important NFL dates, anything that happens that concerns the Buffalo Bills. We'll keep you up to date right here. So again, hit that subscribe button, like this video, leave a comment. What dates are important to you? Reminder that Believers Talk is teaming up with BewareTheStampede.com. Go to BewareTheStampede.com, as Jeremy's going to keep you up to date on this news. Also, even throughout the offseason, make sure you're keeping up to date on all Buffalo Bills news. Guys, I look forward to talking to you all soon. Thank you for joining me for this NFL Dates episode of Believers Talk. I'll see you all soon. Until I do, go Bills.